All right. Well, welcome everyone to cracking the ISV code, that is. We're very excited to have you here as we talk all about thriving in the Acumatica ecosystem. Here are your presenters for today, in case you didn't know. We have Sal from Presales Leader, Foy from Acumatica, and of course me from the ISV Society. I'm not going to dive into everybody's bio because we all are going to have our 10 minutes to fame here, and they will each do a little brief intro of themselves. So we have enough time to get through all of our content. But we welcome you here. We know what a struggle it can be as of ISV, working in this landscape, working in this ecosystem, competing with all the other ISVs, trying to stand out, doing all the things, getting in front of partners. So that's why we wanted to put this together today. So here is our agenda, just so you can get a little bit of an idea of what we'll cover. So Sal will go first. He'll talk a little bit about discovery and pricing and sales. And then we have Foy, who is obviously from Acumatica. As you know, you probably have talked to him in the past too about recruiting, identifying, and managing VARs, the Acumatica Marketplace, and your partnership. And then, of course, I'm going to follow up with a lot about marketing because, as you know, if you follow me on LinkedIn or anywhere else, you know that's what I talk about a lot. So we're going to talk about best practices, tips and tricks, and what you can do in this space to grow. All right. So with that, I'm going to hand the reins over to Sal.
Awesome. Thank you. Great to be on this. Thanks for doing the legwork, Amy, and setting this up. Just a little bit of context of who I am and pre-sales leader. We actually have a parent company now, Technology Leader Companies. So we, through that, we're able to offer a full life cycle of solutions as a service provider in the Acumatica ecosystem. So everything from some go-to-market strategy and content creation with Product Marketing Leader, pre-sales support. I'm doing fractional pre-sales services for primarily VARs, but also for other ISV solutions as well. And then getting into the world of consulting and implementation, helping design and do some project rescue and implementation, even some optimization after go live with a business consulting leader. So seeing a lot of different life cycle phases for ISVs and different solutions through all three of those branches of us. But I live in the realm of pre-sales leader a lot, helping with ISV partnerships that we work with. So we kind of, because we work with VARs and help with their pre-sales services, we kind of function like a VAR, but we're not really. We're in that service partner category. So the three things I wanted to cover this morning, I think that's the next slide is the three things, is identify these 3 points here, how we can work better from a service partner's perspective. And probably a freebie before we even dive into these 3 points is it's great to know who your ideal customer, who your target market is, even before you get into these 3 points. So that's the free bonus you get today is what is who is your make sure you identify your target market and your ideal customer, even before diving into some of these questions here in these topics. But the first thing I really wanted to tackle that we see a lot from the service provider perspective is identifying essential discovery questions. So often they're running into solutions that don't even have these figured out. And it becomes a real challenge for partners and their SEs to figure out and know what the ideal customer is for your solution if you don't have those. So keeping them short and simple is makes it super easy for the partner, makes it super easy for SEs to in early conversations, even sometimes in early emails. If this is able to be done as a quick, short email to just qualify or even disqualify the opportunity, that is even better. But doing so in a way that is simple, anyone's able to understand it. When you have to be the expert in AR or WMS or whatever your solution is to even understand the discovery questions, it's just another step of difficulty to help figure out qualified leads and options for you. So that's a big point to even just get the ball rolling there. The second point there even helps with some of the discovery piece is having transparent pricing. Clear, straightforward pricing really helps to build trust with not only the resellers, the VARs within the channel, but also your potential customers as well. When it's really hard to understand the pricing, it's hard to sell it, first off, but that can create a lot of confusion and hesitation for your potential customers as well. So, really wanting to keep things pretty clear, pretty straightforward, allows SEs, your SEs allows VARs to really be able to communicate and give set clear expectations for the potential client in that process. So, the last one here, being flexible and opportunistic in the sales cycle. If you've been around in the channel at all, different things come up. It could be length of time. It could be needing to kind of help differentiate and maybe be flexible with your solution, creating some customizations or even some flexibility in the pricing side of things to help meet a customer where they're at and stand out and be competitive. But adapting and differentiating yourself is big pieces there. So adaptability can really become your competitive edge here. And yeah, adjusting that strategy to your customer services is a really strong way to differentiate your solution and help continue to build that trust. I think all three of these really help go a long way to create trust with potential clients as well as partners. And yeah, that kind of just leans into relationships. Yeah, that's kind of the name of the game. I think the three of us talked about that in preparing for this, but building and caring for relationships is what makes three things. What's the words I'm looking for? These are the three things that help us build and maintain relationships with not just our VARs and resellers within the channels, but with clients as well. So that was a quick speed run through that. If you would like, or if you have any questions about those and how to improve on those, you can ask in the chat. That's my email right there. You can reach out to me directly, and I would love to have conversation back and forth with you. From what it looks like from a service partner perspective, to really engage in the channel deeper. But those are three things we see a lot of times. Handling a lot of ISVs who are trying to break into like maybe the USA market for the first time. Maybe it's ISVs trying to scale down from other ERPs into Acumatica or scale up into Acumatica. Both, we see those a lot. And those 3 points are conversations we're having weekly with partners, ISV partners that we work with in our Alliance program. But yeah, I would love to answer any questions you may have. I know we're flying through stuff here to make sure we each get some time here, but I'll be answering chats, and I think, Foy, you're up next.
All right, thanks, Sal. Appreciate it. So everyone, my name is Foy Mainor. I'm an ISV Business Development Manager at Acumatica. Prior to joining Acumatica, I worked for an ISV for almost 20 years. So I've kind of been in the shoes of the ISV that's looking to be able to recruit and then ultimately manage and keep VARs. So I've been here at Acumatica for almost 4 years. And on this side, I've been working with ISVs to kind of help bring them along into the ecosystem. But then also I work with a large number of ISVs that are a part of the ecosystem. So glad to be here and kind of walk through some of the tips and tricks with you. All right, so value-added resellers. Key point, obviously, within the Acumatica ecosystem, because that is how Acumatica goes to market, is through VARs. And a lot of the tips that I'm going to go through, some may be specific for new ISVs, some might be specific for existing ISVs, but overall, it's going to apply to either case. So the first thing is, how do you find the VARs? Well, one of the most important things that you can do, and probably one of the hardest things that I have ISVs do, is ask the customer. We hear all the time that people are hearing about Acumatica prospects, Acumatica customers. That's how a lot of new ISVs get interested in Acumatica, because of the number of Acumatica prospects and customers that are coming to them. So first thing you can do is ask the customer who their VAR is. If they're already a customer of yours for one reason or another, then have them make an introduction and build the relationship there. It sounds really simple. It sounds really straightforward, but you might be surprised at the number of ISVs that simply don't ask that question. If you are an existing ISV and you're working with a large number of customers and you come across one from Acumatica, ask them the same question. It's very important to work with the VARs. They own the customer, they know the customer better. And then once you get into some of the technology side of things about upgrades and doing that type of stuff, if you're not in communication with the VAR, then you could certainly mess things up simply if the customer doesn't upgrade. So ask the customer who their VAR is. Some other tips. There's a gentleman named Bob Scott who is retiring or has retired, who puts out a top 100 VAR list every year. It'll come out in the May or June timeframe. And that's a great place to see the top 100 small to medium business, mid-market ERP VARs listed by revenue. And more than 20 of them are Acumatica VARs, so you can find them there. One of the most important things you can do from an Acumatica standpoint is attend Acumatica Summit. Either attend as an attendee or ISVs, whether you're what we call a level 1, which is the entry level, or a level 2, which is the managed level, are welcome to sponsor and be a part of the marketplace. And the Acumatica Summit is a very strong event. It is partner and customer focused, and it is a great way to get entrenched into the ecosystem and make sure that you have all those people in one place to be able to talk to them. And another little tip about finding VARs is we do awards from an Acumatica standpoint each year for the top partners, both the top partner overall as well as top partners by industry. So about a week or two before Acumatica Summit, we'll announce who the finalists are, and that's a great way to kind of narrow down who some of them might be as well. Now, the next thing is, how do you get them interested? Well, first off, make it easy for them to do business with you. Sal touched on that just a little bit with some of the tips there, but ultimately, it needs to be easy. And that is easy from every aspect, from marketing to generate leads, through discovery, demo, helping them close the deal, as well as implementation and support. Support that easy to do business with a channel strategy that rewards and engages the VAR. Don't just throw a piece of paper at them that says we're going to give you a 10%, 15% finder's fee, and that's it. Have something structured so that you are rewarding those VARs, some type of revenue share, some type of margin as you engage with them. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be an extremely robust program, but something that is going to allow you to continuously work with them at all levels within the organization. I said marketing, discovery, which is pre-sales, sales, and then obviously implementation and support. If you're the type of ISV solution that can get involved in all of those different areas, then do so. And if you can also help train and educate the VAR deeper into those areas, take advantage of that as well. But again, make it easy for them to do business and reward and engage the VAR constantly. And that would mean that you're going to need to have dedicated resources. You should have somebody whose responsibility it is to work with those VARs within the channel. And again, if you get big enough within that specific channel, then it could be different people, somebody responsible for pre-sales, sales, but ultimately a channel manager, somebody to help work with those VARs continuously. And then again, as a part of that, there is an expectation from a VAR standpoint of some type of revenue share, some type of margin. So make sure that you're familiar with that and have an understanding of that. You certainly do want to reward the VARs that are bringing in more business. You also want to reward those that are getting certified on your sales process, your demo process, or even implementation and support, and able to recognize some revenue for them there. But again, work with them on a defined plan, a structured plan that's easy for them to understand, and then constant outreach. You should be touching the VAR on a regular basis from all those different sides that I just mentioned. And then how do you keep them? Well, become a trusted partner. Work with those VARs like we just talked about, but then a lot of VARs have user groups. A lot of them do regular events, whether those are internal events where you can take the opportunity to educate the employees of that VAR, or whether those are external events where they're bringing in prospects and customers. Become a trusted partner so that they're willing to put you in front of all of those different people and have you be able to engage with them at those different levels. Ask them what they're doing. I mean, one of the ISVs that I work with regularly, one of the first things they did was a VAR as a casino night. They've had it every year. They've done it for years, and they asked if they could sponsor and participate. So those types of things are what you're looking for. Lunch and learns. Buy the office pizza. and then have them listen to a presentation so that you can educate them. And that could be, again, internal employees, but also external as well. And then ultimately deliver on your promises. If you say you're going to do something, then make sure that you deliver there and be responsive. Get back to them, whether it's the answer that they want to hear or not want to hear. Keep the lines of communication going. All right, so if you're in the ecosystem from an Acumatica standpoint, the Acumatica Marketplace is a primary area to be able to provide your content. This should be a main focus for those ISVs that are a part of the managed program. Make sure it looks like what you want it to look like. Put in marketing videos, demo videos to provide additional information and detail. Ask your VARs and your customers to add reviews so that they're able to see the reviews on the marketplace. And then just like if you're going to dinner or staying at a hotel, the reviews that are better, you're going to want to participate with that particular ISV in this instance because of the reviews. So strong focus on that. Update your content regularly. Google searches will find the information that is in the Acumatica Marketplace solution profiles. So if you update that content on a regular basis, that refreshes it with Google or Bing, and then make sure that looks like you want it to look like. Put in a search that you want somebody to be able to find you into Google or Bing and verify that that pops up where you want it to pop up from an Acumatica Marketplace standpoint. So I can't stress enough that if you're in the ecosystem from an Acumatica side, focus on your marketplace listing. It is a primary area where there are a lot of traffic comes through for you to be able to promote that solution and then use that. And I can tell you from an experience on the ISV side here, we get a extremely large number of inquiries that come through the Acumatica Marketplace. So if you're not getting those, certainly reach out. We're happy to talk to you about best practices and work with you on that. But again, focus on the Acumatica Marketplace if you're a part of the ecosystem at that particular level. And then go above and beyond. What are the extra things that you can do? Acumatica has a vibrant community. You can be involved in the community. And again, all levels of your organization can be involved in the community. There's a place for marketing, pre-sales, and especially for developers. Take a look at the Developer MVP program. Take a look at the hackathon that occurs every year at Summit and get involved in those pieces of the community, both on the actual website of the community, but then other things that they offer there. So make sure that you're spending time in the community, seeing what kind of conversations are going on, and then become a subject matter expert. The community is not a sales and marketing type area like the marketplace is, but it's an area where you can certainly establish a presence and become that subject matter expert for where you belong in the industry that you're in. And then again, become a trusted resource and a trusted partner. There's also a third-party community called Acuconnect, which is similar in some ways to the Acumatica community, except that it is independent, run and managed by a board of its members, which include customers, VARs, as well as ISVs. They do their own events, they have their own webinars, their own blogs, and their own resource page. So take a look at that if you haven't before. And then partner with other ISVs. So if there's complementary solutions, if there's ISVs that are always in the same deals that you're in, because somehow, some way, there's a little bit of crossover, complementary crossover, or you match up really well with them, leverage those types of relationships and build on that. So again, make yourself a strong presence within the ecosystem, both from a VAR standpoint, again, from other ISVs that might work well, and then that will help you with your success. But again, as I finish up here, the biggest thing is to become a trusted partner, have the VAR or other ISVs want to engage with you, bring you into their prospects and bring you into their deals, and trust you to be a part of their success as well. And thank you very much. If you need to reach out, there's my contact information there. Happy to answer any questions either today or going forward.
Thank you, Foy and Sal. All right, guess what? It's my turn. Hello, everyone. Again, Amiee Keenan from the ISV Society. If you're not familiar with me, I've been in the space probably as long as Foy, maybe around the same time, 1999. Not that I want to outdate myself at all, but I've actually been working with ISV since then, if you can believe that. Yeah, right out of high school, not. So I know what it's like to be in this ecosystem. I know what it's like from a ISV perspective, and being a partner marketing manager, being a channel sales manager, doing all the things from an ISV standpoint. And so I want to talk about today a lot about the relationships, about marketing, and how you can stand out. So obviously relationships matter, which we know Foy talked about too. And success in this space isn't about technology, really isn't. It's about relationships. And you will know if by going to Acumatica Summit, there's a lot of crossovers from other ecosystems. So those relationships you've built with partners in other ecosystems are also in the Acumatica space. So it's like one big happy family again, and it's really nice. So Acumatica Summit's a great way for networking and building those relationships. Highly recommend that everyone is there every year in January. And of course, what do stronger relationships mean? I mean, they mean a lot. They mean more sales, obviously. They mean a stronger bond with your partners. They mean partners are going to reach out to you. It means a long-term relationship. It means they want to help support you, and you also want to help support them, right? We should have mutual business goals. It's not a 1-2. It's not a all about me. It's mostly all about the partner and what's in it for the partner and how you're going to help them be successful. So we really have to get to think of it in that mentality that it is a give and take relationship. It's not all about us spooning things onto them constantly. We also want to listen to them, take back their knowledge and expertise and what they focus on, as well as feedback and such. So as you can see from this quote here, people will do business that people they know, like, and trust. And so that all comes down to relationship building. And so how to build strong partner relationships. Be a resource, right? Not a vendor. Think of that and that mentality. How do you help partners solve their customers' problems? What tools can you provide them to make their jobs easier, from sales and from marketing? How can you educate them, not just sell to them? So like Foy said, we can do lunch and learns, and we can give them lunch, and we can do those trainings to help them understand the solution. But also we want to provide them with the tools to be able to sell and market the solution and really understand the solution, so they become that subject matter expert. And partners need to understand that value and how you help their customers. So once they understand it, it makes it very easy for them, right? And of course, like Sal said, clear pricing. We so want clear pricing. We don't want things convoluted. We want to make sure it's easy for them to understand. We want to have a great, easy onboarding process. Support is so important as well. So you really want to make sure you are being responsive. And of course, another huge thing is paying them on time. So if we are not paying our partners on time, then they are not going to want to work with us. I can tell you that. So you need to make sure that you have systems in place that pay them on time. Like Foy said, having that margin, having that referral percentage, whatever it is that you set up in working with your partner, making sure that they get those payments on time. And then, of course, engaging consistently. Remember, partners are hearing from ISVs all the time. There's a lot of noise out there, and they're getting emails from every other ISV. Hey, work with me. Hey, work with me. Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? So you really want to make sure that when you are reaching out to them, it's different ways, right? And it's not only consistent, but different. So you might engage with them for updates and training and co-marketing, but hey, why don't we reach out to them and say happy birthday? Why don't we send them something in the mail once in a while and say thank you for your partnership? Why don't we congratulate them on a milestone? Maybe they made MVP status. Like Foy said, maybe they're one of the top 100 VARs, or maybe they're the top VAR with Acumatica. So congratulate them on those things. Reach out to them for other things, because we are all humans. We all want to hear from humans. We all want that human connection. So we really want to take a step back and say, hey, I want to reach out to these partners consistently. How can I do it effectively and strategically, but also do it in a way that makes sense, of course, but really come out of your shell and say, hey, because LinkedIn notifies you right when people's birthdays, if they have it on there. So you can find out when their birthdays are. Or when you're even just having conversations with them and meeting with them on a consistent basis, get to know them as a person. What do they like? What do they dislike? Do they have a dog? Do they have kids? Maybe you send them something in the mail for their dog or their kids. So really, maybe they like wine, flowers, whatever it is. Learn to get to know the personal side of them, so that way when you are showing and engaging with them consistently, you can put that in the mix and not make it always all about sales, support, training, whatever it is about you, right? We want it to be about the partner. Okay, Next up, and so let me talk about some marketing tips. My favorite tip of the day is marketing. So obviously marketing and visibility and leads is what we're all thinking, we all want to do, right, as an ISV. So a couple of things you want to make sure that you have as you're thinking about your marketing strategy, whether it's email, whether it's social, whether it's video, whatever it is, you want to make sure you answer the question, what do you solve? And how are you different? How do you make customers' lives easier? How do you help partners? How do you make their lives easier? Also, partners want to see proof, right? And Sam Bush is on here, and I know she talks all about social proof. So social proof is huge, right? We want to make sure that we include social proof in everything. And that's also Foy, right? He talked about having the reviews on the marketplace. What better place to put social proof than there? Because we know all of the partners and customers are going out to the marketplace to find the solution that they need to help with their pain points, whether it's AP or AR or supply chain or EDI, whatever it is, they're plugging that in, that word into the marketplace. Your solution better pop up based on that criteria. And so when they see that social proof, that just helps build your credibility even more. And as Foy also mentioned, make sure you're optimizing your marketplace listing. This is your storefront, so make it compelling. Make it about the person that you're talking to and really speak their language and give them the tools and resources and things that they need to make an educated guess, or I shouldn't say guess, but just know that your solution can help them just based on what you put out on the marketplace, and they need to come and reach out to you, as well as partners. Partners are going out there looking for solutions to help their customers. So the more in tune you can be with that and helping them identify which solutions would help their customers, they obviously are going to reach out to you as well. And again, seeing that social proof helps. And then, of course, we know how content is key. So you want to make sure you're creating lots of content out there, all kinds of content. Use LinkedIn especially, is so important. I don't think us as ISVs use LinkedIn enough to really portray ourselves as subject matter experts in whatever industry we focus on, right? That's a huge thing, because obviously in Acumatica, we have construction, we have distribution, we have manufacturing, we have retail, we have e-commerce. Like, are you the subject matter expert in any of those industries, and how can you portray that through your content? So huge. And also using partners as your subject matter expert in your own content. Like, say you're doing a construction webinar and you have a partner that's really good at construction and they have that's what they focus on for their clients. Why not have them as a subject matter expert and make them the person that's going to compel and say this story? It's way more valuable and way more important to have a partner say it versus you. So if you can utilize partners in your marketing strategy, in your webinars, in your content, just makes it stand out that much more. Where are we at? 2 minutes. Okay. We're going to really fly through this. Okay. So who should be working with to grow your presence here? Obviously, Foy also talked about this. So VARs, they are the sales force. Support them with training, incentives, and marketing assets. So obviously you're going to be working with them. That's your number one, right? But why not work with marketing and media partners outside? Get featured in industry publications. What events are your VARs going to that are outside the ecosystem as well as the ecosystem? How can you collaborate with them there? Maybe they're going to some kind of industry expo or construction or automation or whatever it is. How to get involved in those different areas and how to also provide content, as well as me, the ISV Society, and also Foy mentioned Acuconnect. It's a great way to network, co-market, and do sponsorship opportunities as well, and getting in front of more partners and customers, because that's all we want. That's what most of us, I would say, want to do, if not all of us, want to get in front of more partners and customers. So think about it in a strategic way and how you can do that and how you can work with others and partner with others in the ecosystem to do so. Okay. And so I just put together a quick marketing toolkit of things that you would help partners help you sell and promote your solution. And I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of this in your toolkit already. So making sure you have co-branded assets and something to support those training, those incentives, those marketing assets that we all talked about throughout today. Short demo videos are so important as well. Using those videos in different areas. Obviously, you can create mini clips on LinkedIn. You can use industry publications, events. Video is so important. If you went to Acumatica Summit, you would know, you might have seen me doing these AcuConnect Buzz videos, which I went to all the different ISV booths and recorded a 1-minute video, which we showcased on LinkedIn throughout the event to drive engagement, not only for the event and for them, but to drive traffic to their booth, to build their brand, to build their presence in the event, and so forth. So it really created like this buzz storm throughout the event because all these videos kept posting about all these different ISVs at Acumatica Summit. So really think about ways you can engage the audience in different ways and when you're at events. And social media is huge. So we got to leverage LinkedIn for what it is and utilize the tools that it has, like LinkedIn newsletters, of course, video, how to do, be a guest on a podcast. So Sal's doing a podcast right after this. So how you can leverage other people in the community to get your word out to. It doesn't have to be all you. You don't have to come up with all the ideas. There are other people out there doing it. Just very successfully leverage them as well. And then, of course, educational webinars. Like I said, have partners do these educational webinars with you. Bring in some outside expert to help with it, especially if it's industry specific. Utilize people around you to help because that'll make it so much easier and it'll make it so much more effective. All right, that's it. I am done. Well, thank you, everyone. I tried to wrap that all up really quickly, as fast as I could. So I'm just seeing if we have any questions. Oh, someone said it was an hour long. No worries. Great presentation and good info. I don't know how I had that as 1 hour, but it was only 30 minutes. So I apologize if I gave you back 30 minutes of your day.
You get extra time.
Yes, I did. I thought I only scheduled it for 30 minutes. So I apologize if I messed that part up. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will be sending out the recording email as well. If you do have any questions, I will make sure everybody's contact information is in there. So thank you for being here. And I hope you got some great content, great ideas, great things to help you in the Acumatica ecosystem, because it is such a great place to be. Sal, Foy, any parting words?
Oh, thanks, Amy, for the opportunity. Did really appreciate it, and glad to help where I can.
Absolutely. Same here. Really thankful for the opportunity to share and present. And yeah, just always looking for ways to continue to support and grow relationships. That's the heart of it.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you. And of course, one last parting note, this doesn't happen overnight. So just make sure if you're consistent, you take the time, you really get to understand the partners you're reaching out to, really do your research when you're reaching out to partners who may have never heard of you, and really understanding their ecosystem, what they focus on, and how you can help them is really key to starting that relationship. So just take that in mind as you start reaching out to these partners. So thank you all and have a great day.
Thank you.